What's going on, Bulls Nation? You found yourselves locked on Bulls. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave right there. Up ahead on today's program, the Bulls lose their fourth straight game. Are the wheels falling off, or do they just need to get guys back? They fall to the Grizzlies 119-106. Jekyll and Hyde Vooch continues. Io continues to impress. And, hey, the Bulls may have found something in Malcolm Hill. That's all next on a fresh Locked On Bulls. Let's go.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up and welcome in to Locked On Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my co-host Big Dave Watson at BAWL Sports. You can follow us at Locked On Bulls. Hit us up on that text and voicemail line also whenever you feel like it, 331-979-1369 for our weekly mailbag episodes. Big Dave, Bulls lose again, 119-106. No Zach, no Zoe. Still no Caruso and Javonte, who are hopefully nearing return. Caruso might even play Wednesday against Cleveland. Still no Derrick Jones Jr. And we got to start with Vooch, man. We have to. Bulls Twitter was ready to burst a blood vessel talking about Vooch. And you and I were catching some strays from people who believe that we are and have been defending Nikola Vucevic more so than he has been deserving of being defended. And let me tell you this. He sucked in this game against the Grizzlies. Flat out stank. 2 of 13 for 7 points. And that was coming on the heels of a 27-6-6 game against Boston, where he was established early. He was scoring inside. He knocked down some threes. He was looking good. It's Jekyll, it's Hyde, but is there a breaking point somewhere in the near future? And I'm not talking about AK and Eversley, because I think that they still believe in him.
Sure.
But this Bulls fan base is blowing a gasket right now about Vooch when, look, yes, he was bad. Again, let me state, for the record, he was bad, people. I am not here defending Vooch after this Grizzlies game. He was bad.
Yep.
Was Vooch responsible for the Bulls' 8 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of the game by himself?
No.
What are your thoughts, Dave?
I echo what you say. He was bad. Like, he was not good. What was he? 2 of 13?
13.
Yeah, it's not good. And I believe both of those field goals came in the third quarter. Like he's not good. But man, Bulls fans, I swear I thought this was Denzel Valentine. I was like, dude, for real, like that's how it's being discussed. Like
chucking up a 3 from 45 feet.
Yeah. Running into players while they try to hit game winners and stuff like that.
Scrub out of here!
He's the worst ever. Get him out! He's gotta go, man. He's gotta go.
I mean, that was me, Denzel. That was me.
Yeah.
I was not alone,
Yeah.
but absolutely. But you're right. That's how Bulls fans seem to be starting to feel about Vooch, man.
But here's the thing that I'm saying about Denzel and Vooch. You had to build that. You had to get some cachet. And I ain't just talking about a season of it. You had to get some years of trash for Denzel to be like, oh, God, this dude is just trash. Why is he still on our team? Some people came around in 2 years. Some people came around a year, but you had to see the trash for a consistent amount of time for you to be like, this dude shouldn't be on the team. You have seen Vooch. For not even 50 games. And they're like, yeah, this dude is the worst center ever. He's worse. He needs to be cut. Take him off the team. I understand the anger. I understand being upset. You're looking at what you paid for him. You're mad at assets that you gave up. You're like, I want this dude to be 20-10 every single night. Not even 20-10, 25-10. They want that Vooch. You know what I'm saying? They want it. And I feel you. You want that 40% 3. You want it. I feel you. I get it. You ain't getting it right now. I ain't putting up with 2 of 13. If he's going to give me 16 and 11, Matt, which is what his season average is, all right, I can live with that, especially when my team is winning. on top of
Right.
all that. You know what I'm saying? I think don't let that get lost in all this. Like through all this inconsistency and all those things, the Bulls are still tops in the East, might be second after the day is over, but they're still one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, even through this foolishness that we're watching Vooch go as far as up and down and things like that. But my goodness, guys, it's how quickly they forget. I just watched this dude drop 27, 6, and 6. I just saw that. I just sat there and watched him do this. And it was like it never happened to Bulls fans. It's like it never even occurred. Never went down. I watched him put up a stat line that had never been put up in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And they were like, nope, don't matter. Get him out of here. He's the worst. He's trash. I'll take the anger, and I'm with you, and I'll echo those sentiments of being disappointed in that play, especially this afternoon, because that was an atrocity what we saw. What I will always take issue with Bulls fans is words like trash, calling him a bozo, calling him, you know what I mean? All these, trade him, cut him, get him off. That's what I take issue with right there. Yeah. No, no. If he's going through it, he's going through it. But I ain't going to take them.
It's inflammatory and unnecessary, in my opinion. We can sit here and say Vooch has not played up to the standards that we expected. And that's stating a fact that is supported by the numbers. But again, going back to your thing about what Bulls fans expected, I think it goes back to what did we give up to get Vooch? You know, we gave up Wendell Carter Jr., a young prospect who clearly struggled while he was in Chicago, couldn't stay on the floor for one thing, couldn't stay healthy. And maybe it was the Bulls and their system they were running that did him no favors, and maybe some of his own lack of confidence. He looked like maybe not as good of a player as we wanted him to be for a guy who was a top 10 draft pick. You send him and 2 first-round picks, and I think that is maybe where a lot of the frustration is coming from for Bulls fans. Like, we gave up all of that capital to bring this guy in here to be the all-star player that he is now in his prime. But when it comes to the expectations of I need 20 and 10 every night, I need 25 and 10 every night, look, and you and I have reminded Bulls fans of this before, he's number 3. Zach and DeMar are 1A and 1B on any given night. Vooch is number 3. Do you expect your number 3 to put up 20-plus points every night? Because that math doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, again, your expectations have to be fair. And fair expectations say Vooch just had a trash game. 2 of 13 is a trash game. And there have been too many nights where he has a shooting line that is similar to 2 of 13, 5 of 13, 4 for 16. There are too many of those. And again, we thought maybe it was a shooting slump at the start of the season. He's still having those nights, and that's what's unacceptable to me. But go back and compare, okay, what do we expect that we were getting from him because of what we gave up versus what is the proper role for him to play on a winning team with the pieces around him. And guess what? 5 or 6 of the pieces that were built to be around him ain't there in this last stretch of games that we're losing. Maybe keep that in mind. Just maybe. Speaking of which, Alex Caruso in the 13 games that he's missed, the Bulls defense, 24th.
Oh, yeah.
Not
that's
to say
saying
that
a lot.
one player makes all the difference, but sometimes, like, and I know you also talk about this with Bulls fans on Twitter too, Big Dave, talking about how his offense and his defense can sometimes mirror each other in bad ways.
Yeah.
Where if his shots aren't falling, Vooch loses his focus and his determination and his effort on the defensive end. And I agree with that assessment with Vooch, and that also is inexcusable. Tonight, he had double-digit rebounds and 2 blocks. The Bulls, as a team, played like piss defensively this afternoon. Do you pin that all on Vooch? No. He is partly responsible for a Bulls team that without Caruso, that without Javonte Green, that without Lonzo Ball are horrible in transition defense. They got cooked by the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies' fast break points. I mean, the Grizzlies have been doing that to pretty much all of their opponents this season. They're the best fast break team in the league. But again, looking at what Vooch is to blame for versus zooming out and saying, who else is responsible for this 4-game skid? Because Vooch has been bad in some of these Bulls losses. It's not all on him. And again, compare what you are expecting of Vooch to what the Bulls front office is expecting from Vooch. But right now, with Zach LaVine out, you can't have Vooch giving you 7 points on 2 of 13. That is a moment where, okay, you're not number 3, you're number 2. And 7 points ain't cutting the mustard.
At all. You're not number 3, you're number 2, but you're laying a number 2 out there on the floor. And that's the problem. And also, Matt, because I don't want to absolve him, again, from anything he did tonight. And you're right. The whole entire defense was good. Like you said, dropping the 24th and all that stuff. But this dude, I watched Vooch get outplayed by not 1, but 2 centers. I watched both of those centers. I watched Steven Adams and Clark outplay him on the floor tonight. I watched him in that second quarter make 2 of the worst defensive decisions I had seen, especially that final one. And when the half was ending,
halftime.
What was that? Like, what was he going? Like, where was he going? Why did he leave and go double team a 3-point? It was a play already there. You don't need to leave him. He was already there. What did you leave for? I was like, oh my God, man. Like that, yes, I feel you, boy. That was insane and crazy. And I don't know what he was on that one. But again, offense being predicated by his defense, and that's not a good thing coming off of him. When that came out in that third quarter, Matt, and I saw him get a putback and then get a steal and then hit a 3-point shot from the corner. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. I don't know if the corner shot came first or the putback came first, but that was the scenario in which it happened. I immediately tweeted out, there you go, Vooch. That's all I said. Lost their minds. Twitter. How dare you show encouragement? How dare you try to get next to him? You burn him at the stake. You cut his head off and you spit down his throat. That's what you do. It's not how it goes, fans. It's not how it goes. This dude has earned that for me to be like, all right, good job. Now, first of all, I'm encouraging to everybody. Listen, let me state that. Anybody doing that, I'm like, all right, good job. Yeah, it's who I am, man. I want my team to do well, okay? But my God, dog, I'm not going to just kill this dude.
Any tweet that you throw out to Bulls Twitter right now that suggests anything other than Vooch is garbage, or if it's just you saying, okay, after a frustrating game, there's a nice play, even acknowledging one nice play. It's the equivalent of the Dave Chappelle tweet of him knocking over the pitcher of water in the corporate meeting and bolting for the door.
Right. That's exactly what it was.
It makes me think of Cowley sometimes. Some of Cowley's tweets where he's clearly just like, all right, I'm going to throw this grenade into Bulls Twitter and see what happens.
Like I'm the positive version of that. Like, and I'm for real was just paying. I was like, I would have said that for anybody. Just because I was like, all right, there you go. We're getting the lead back. We're trying to win this game. All right, good job. You did something nice. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? What is everybody angry for? Nah, man. Come on.
So,
right. But I feel you. He was trash tonight.
Trash.
He was trash.
Vooch, do better. Bulls fans, maybe calm down a little bit. Just calm down a little bit. But Vooch,
still good. Still a good team.
F today.
F plus.
All right. We can talk about some other elements of this game, some that weren't as depressing as Vooch's performance. We will do that up next. But first, you all have been hearing me tell you about Prize Picks for a while now. Have you signed up yet? I'm talking to you. Yes, you. No? If you haven't, now is the perfect time. You need a distraction because you're fuming over another bad Vooch game. Distract yourself with some fun NBA daily fantasy. For a limited time, Prize Picks has an exclusive no-brainer offer for all of our Locked On Bulls listeners. Users get $50 for free if a player in your first Prize Picks entry scores a single point. Vooch could have gotten that for you this afternoon, but you must use code NBA. That's right. This is an exclusive offer for Locked On Bulls listeners, available only when using promo code NBA. Prize Picks has the best NBA DFS prop game on the market. It offers more NBA props than any other DFS prop operator and offers all the superstar players as well as those bench players, only recording a handful of minutes each game. Big Dave could have put some bets on Matt Thomas draining some threes, and he would have made some money. Prize Picks offers any prop you can think of. Points, assists, rebounds, those Matt Thomas three-pointers, anything you can think of. Prize Picks also allows mixed sports entries, so you can put something on the Monday night NBA action and the final NFL wildcard game simultaneously. Use the award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals. So go to prizepicks.com today or go to the App Store and download the app. All users that deposit and use promo code NBA get $50 free if your first Prize Picks entry scores a single point. That's right. All users that deposit and use promo code NBA get $50 free if your first entry scores a single point. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. All right, Big Dave, before we move on to maybe some of the more encouraging elements of another frustrating loss, anybody else, now that we've covered Vooch, that you were disappointed with in this loss to the Grizzlies? DeRozan had a tough afternoon, not efficient, 10 of 24 from the field, only got to the free throw line 4 times. He did have 5 assists, but that was also along with 4 turnovers. Yeah. I've seen some people maybe talking about, does DeRozan need to be more and do more while the Bulls are playing shorthanded as they are? Because it seems like DeRozan immediately came into this team and embraced the role of leader, vocal leader, emotional leader. He's been showing support to his younger teammates. I don't know if there's something else or something more that we should be getting or should be seeing from DeMar in this recent skid while he's been playing with less help. What do you think about that?
It's an excellent question, actually. I don't know what else he really can do other than score 40 for this team on a nightly basis, which is going to be a rarity, I think, without Zach LaVine out there. Because you saw in the Boston game immediately when he got the ball with the game on the line, double team like on him from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. It was double team. He was getting it in the fourth quarter because he was getting to his spots a little more frequently because they were actually hitting those shots and they couldn't leave Ayo, who was killing them, and Coby White, who was also killing them. So he was a little more freed up. That's what happens when you got those players around you. Help is on the way, guys. Help is on the way. But yeah, outside of him scoring 40 and getting like 40-point triple doubles and doing stuff like that. But I will say it would be awesome for him to have one of those games when Zach and all those guys are out. It would be awesome for me to see DeMar DeRozan have that 38-point, 6 rebound, 9 assists game. You know what I'm saying? Like just to carry us to one of these victories. You know what I'm saying? Like I agree with that. Like I would like to see that happen. It's not a deal breaker or anything like that. It doesn't mean he's trash. It doesn't mean that he's not a leader. It hasn't been great or anything like that. I would like to see that. Because also, you saw the frustration setting in, him not getting those foul calls because he was getting fouled and not getting those calls. You saw Billy Donovan get a technical foul because he was mad DeRozan wasn't getting those calls. But outside of that incredible, stupid game that he can put forth, I mean, putting up the numbers he's putting is pretty consistent about what he's been doing all season. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what you're saying. Like, you want a little more. I feel Bull saying, like, I still want him to give me a little bit more on that. But it's hard to give you a little bit more on that, again, when you're facing those double and triple teams every time you're getting up and down the court.
Right. I mean, I just feel like in this recent stretch, especially with Zach being out, DeMar is in a spot that Zach had been in for the last several seasons. A great player, but a great player who can't win by himself. And that's no offense to Coby and Ayo, who we'll get to in a minute here, but when I say by himself, I mean does not have a equal caliber star player. And DeMar and the Bulls' success so far this season has not been about DeMar averaging. I mean, he's been averaging 26 or whatever. I think it's come down a little bit in this recent stretch of games, but like, he doesn't need to score 30 plus every night. He needs to pick his spots to dominate in fourth quarters every night. And that is his role. And Zach LaVine can also take those moments himself. And their balance has been wonderful. And it has been a big reason why the Bulls have been winning so much this season. Yeah. But it's not like DeMar DeRozan at this stage in his career. He's not LeBron James, who at age 37 or 38 or whatever is like, well, Lakers, I'm going to try and drag you with another 30-point night. That's not DeMar. That's not who he is. He needs Zach, and Zach needs him. That's why this was working when they're both out there. Yeah. They're not both out there right now. DeMar is struggling. But to their credit, Coby and Ayo did what they could to help DeMar in this loss to Memphis. I mean, they combined to shoot 50% from the field and 50% from downtown. They combined for 16 boards, 11 assists, and 31 points. As your impromptu get in there because we need you starting backcourt. They're supposed to be the spark plug off the bench guys, and now they are the Bulls starting backcourt for the time being. Yeah, I don't know if you can do anything other than commend the effort that Coby and Ayo have shown you in this recent stretch of games.
Dude, yeah, let's start with Coby first. I mean, what else? I mean, what else does he need to do? He puts the ball in the bucket. He's going to score. You know, he's not. I know I say he's gotten better in his point guardsmanship, but we all knew what he was better at. And that's just absolutely scoring the basketball. That's where he's better at. You're seeing him more, Matt. I'm seeing him more do the things that I didn't like that he did, but I know why he's doing those things. It's because we're missing so many people that he's trying to overcompensate a lot. So I'm seeing him try to take Jaren Jackson Jr. to the bucket. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Instead of, trying to pass it out, it's because he's trying to score. And of course, it's getting blocked. I see him trying to go up on Steven Adams. You know what I mean? And it's getting blocked. It's because, you know what I'm saying? Like he used to do that. He hadn't done that stuff all season long. That wasn't what he was doing. But now he's starting to do that because he feels like he's overcompensating for a lot of things and guys not being there. So I'm not being too hard on him for that because I know why he's doing it. But damn, Coby, you got to cut that out. You got to stop doing that, man. That was the old stuff. Let's get me back to the new stuff when you were under control and cool and more, you know what I mean? And more understanding what was going on the floor and understand the guy in front of you is 80 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give me that. But the man is scoring. His 3-point shot looks pure, Matt. It looks super pure and super pretty when he's getting it going like that. And so that's fun to see. That's fun to see from Coby White. Ayo, I mean, I'm just running out of words to say. Like 15 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, bro. You know what I mean? Like, geez, I mean, good guy. He's a rookie. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? I believe he had four turnovers because, it was a high turnover night for the Bulls.
Yeah.
What did he end up with?
Bulls were
15?
sloppy across the board. But to make up for that, he did have 5 steals. And 2 blocks.
See what them things against Ja Morant. He was doing this, by the way. So, and he got a steal off Ja Morant, which is really nice too to see. He is a problem, man. That dude can run point guard. So you feel good with him and you feel more confident with him. But knowing that he can play multiple positions also, Matt. Because remember, he wasn't running point guard when he was coming off the bench. He was just whatever. They need him at the 3, cool. Need him at the 2, cool. The fact he can run anything that Billy Donovan is asking him to just makes this dude starting to become invaluable as a rookie, y'all. That's so crazy. It's so crazy. He's been great.
All right. So we got to touch on a couple more things. Malcolm Hill, another game with significant minutes after he played big bench minutes for the Bulls against the Celtics over the weekend. We'll talk about that. And then also we got to talk about the Tony Bradley, Ja Morant, Steven Adams incident. We will get to that in just a minute. First, Big Dave, tell the people how much fun they can have with BetOnline.
Oh, you know you want to get some money, baby. It's time. It's that new betting year. And happy new betting year to all of you out there because we are now in the NFL playoffs. We are in the swing of the NBA season. College basketball is going on. You just had college bowl season, and I'm sure you made some money, and that was fun. But now you want to continue to get your bets in. And BetOnline is where you should do it at because it remains your number one spot for all the best sports wagering action of 2022. It's the new year, new updated desktop and mobile website. So sign up today, get your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use that promo code Locked On to get started. Basketball, hockey, playoff football, boxing, UFC, your favorite Vegas casino games, whatever you want. Take advantage of all the amazing offers available to you and yours for this 2022 year. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Sports.
All right, moving along, breaking down this Bulls' latest loss to Ja and the Grizzlies. So earlier on Monday, it was announced that the Bulls waived Devon Dotson and have replaced him and his 2-way contract with Malcolm Hill, who Donovan saw play for 18 minutes and was like, "Yeah, give me that guy. I'm gonna what's the word? Need that guy. I got no forwards anywhere. Give me that guy. I got 1 million guards and no forwards." Yeah. So this is what I think is interesting. So he plays 18 minutes off the bench against the Celtics. Looks pretty good for a guy who just showed up. Yeah. Against the Memphis Grizzlies, he played 30 minutes off the bench, which was double the amount of minutes that starter Alfonso McKinney got. Wow. So clearly, this guy has made an impression already on Billy Donovan. And look, in those 30 minutes, 12 points on 4 of 6, including knocking down 2 of 4 from behind the 3-point line, got to the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 4 offensive, 4 defensive. How badly do the Bulls need that? They've been getting worked on the glass due to all these guys being out and their general lack of size. Malcolm Hill is a find, Big Dave.
Yeah, no question about it, Matt. Another rookie that I'm just like, wow. Another guy I'm just looking at, just kind of amazed at, when I see him out there playing. I saw what he benefited last game as far as the defense and the 3-point shot. You saw that. This one, I saw it because I'm like, oh, he can also get the 50-50 balls. Like, he also does that as well. Okay, because I saw the play where I think it was DeMar DeRozan missed a shot, and it was just up for grabs, and he's the one that came down with it and scored and had an and one because of that. I saw him hitting 3-point shots to keep this Bulls kind of in the game. You know what I'm saying? Staying with them. You can leave him on a good player to play them defensively also. Like, he is a find, man. Like, and again, you don't know how stuff is going to work out, with other teams. Like I talked about Stanley Johnson on the previous show. Just didn't work out here, working out well for him in LA. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to change the scenery. Seems to be working that way for young Malcolm here, Matt. And he's been a find because Billy Donovan, like you said, he's like, yeah, you're going to play, and you're going to play a lot, sir. So have at it.
And look, especially when you think about the fact that Derrick Jones Jr., who we mentioned on our Monday episode, sounds like good news in that his injury isn't too serious, 2 to 4 weeks. Maybe he'll be back before the All-Star break even. However, he and that matching salaries kind of contract, which is an expiring contract, might be something that AK and Eversley are asked to throw into a trade before that February 10th deadline if they look to make a move to bring in a more substantial power forward. And again, that might also hinge on whether or not P-Dub is going to come back from his wrist injury. A lot of moving parts here, but if they feel like Malcolm Hill can give them those kind of minutes at that kind of combo forward position, a guy who's 6'6", can play a lot of different positions and switch defensively and can knock down shots for you at the offensive end, they might see Derrick Jones Jr. as more expendable in a trade where they put him in to match salaries or because a team wants an expiring contract. That's something to think about with Malcolm Hill, a guy who went undrafted and played 3 games with Atlanta because of the crazy, Omicron grab a player out of the, $4 bin thing that we've seen over the last month and a half, and now has found himself on a 2-way contract with the Bulls. It is a cool story for another U of I guy. Real quick before we get out of here, you mentioned this before we hit record. Tony Bradley, not giving the Bulls an awful lot on the floor, but he did. Are we on the same page saying that he maybe had a little bit of a dirty play against Ja Morant in this game? Ja Morant was going to cook him, and Tony Bradley just stuck his leg out, Dave. Then some other things happened after that. But what was your thoughts on what went down there?
That's it. I didn't think of dirty play till you just said it. I'm not saying it wasn't. It just didn't cross my mind. I didn't think of it in that way. I thought he was just kicking that leg and trying to stop him from getting to the bucket. But yeah, I can see why that's seen as a dirty play for sure. But yeah, he's holding him and then he won't let him go. And then Ja Morant just stuffs the ball right in his face. Because that's my guy, Ja Morant. He ain't taking no guff from nobody. And then Tony Bradley was like, wait a minute, I'm bigger than you. It's like, I'm just hold on to you for a while, little fella. And then a bigger person comes in and not only moves him, but picks him up and escorts him away from that man. I'm not going to lie, man. I can't lie to the people. The second I saw that, I was like, I don't think this dude should be on the team. That was my first thought. It was, and that thought has gone. It's dissipated. It's not here anymore. But I'm just telling you what my first frame of mind was. That was like, oh my God, this dude just got picked up by the center in this league and walked backwards. Oh my God, I don't like that. I don't know if I need him anymore on my team, but I do need him on my team because Tony Brown, I'm telling you, you're gonna need a 7-foot tall dude who can block shots. Like, he's gonna be important as a backup center. I don't want to lose sight of that. He's a backup center. All right. But man, it don't look good. I'll tell you that. It don't look good to me. I don't like the way that looked, Matt. It just didn't look good, brother. I ain't like it.
Clearly, Ja thought it was dirty because he was upset by it, and that's why that whole confrontation, went down the way it did. And I don't necessarily think it was dirty and that Tony Bradley was trying to hurt John Morant. It was just like, oh crap, this super speedy little point guard is about to get past me, and I'm just going to stick my leg out because I am a tree trunk and I don't move very fast. Look, and it was assessed as whatever it's called, excessive contact. They gave him a flagrant on that, and then a double tech for each of them. It is what it is. I'm glad that it didn't become a bigger deal than it was, because honestly, the only thing I cared about in that altercation was that John Morant did not get hurt on something that was just kind of a dumb play from Tony Bradley. Because, and I know Ja is your guy, I'm not trying, pardon me, to step on your toes.
Okay.
He might be the most fun player in the NBA to watch right now.
I understand.
And I could probably take the word might out of that sentence and still feel confident about it. He is the most entertaining player in the NBA to watch right now.
He is, man. Like, it's so much fun to just watch him just do what he's Matt, that play he did on Malcolm Hill towards the end of the game, that 360 lay in.
Oh my God.
Man, dude, I immediately was like, I got to get my jersey. I got to get my John jersey. What is going on? I got to get it. But man, dude, he is just so much fun to watch. He's just my favorite player in the league right now. He just really is. Like, I just love watching John Morant. You know how I felt about him coming out of college, and that really hasn't changed. It's just gotten worse. It's just elevated and gotten worse, man. And I wish him all the success in the world. And it's easy for me to say that because he's not in the Eastern Conference. So I don't have to say, you know what I mean? I only got to see him
stay
twice.
over there, Ja.
Stay that away. Plenty of stuff over there in Memphis to do. Stay over there. You dig? But do your thing over there, my friend. That is a really excellent basketball team that they have, man. And Dylan Brooks isn't even back yet, who is like probably their best defender. So he's just going to be extra vicious, man. But
you know, they're loaded. I mean, Bane playing the way he's playing. It looked like, you know, Jaren Jackson Jr., scary moment for him in this game. He also came back after that, where he went down for a minute. You know, he's coming back and starting to play better. Even Tyus, right? Little scrappy guard, Tyus Jones, man. Like, that guy can play.
Great
guy can play. That is a fun team. There's a reason that team just rattled off 11 straight wins, and then they had just lost. And so this was a bounce back game for them. And boy, they look like one of the best teams in the Western Conference and one of the best teams in the NBA. And the Bulls look like a team that is still shorthanded and dealing with a number 2 guy in Vooch who did not have a good game and has been struggling. So now
it's on the way.
Look, right. That's, you know, and that's why I don't want any Bulls fans to still feel like, oh, sky's falling. But, you know, it sucks that we have lost 4 straight games, and it sucks that 3 of those 4 we've been kind of getting mopped off the floor. Brooklyn, Golden State, and now this Grizzlies game. But we had a 9-game winning streak. We stacked up some wins. We climbed all the way to the top of the East, and we're still there for the time being. As of recording this Monday evening, we're still there. They can survive this stretch where they once again were without half their roster and come back from this. So, sky's not falling.
No.
You gotta bring the effort every night. You gotta keep those turnovers down, and you got to get back on defense and communicate on defense. But again, some of these guys coming back are going to help with that. So, a day off, and then the Bulls have the Cavs on Wednesday. The Cavs just beat the Nets, who sat Kevin Durant, or not sat. He's now out for whatever that is, 4 to 6 weeks. So the Cavs sneaking up, Bulls trying to hold off Brooklyn and Miami. Lots going on in the top shuffling Eastern standings right now. So we will be back with a Wednesday episode to get you ready for Bulls Cavs. Until then, you can always hit us up on Twitter at Bulls_Peck, at BAWL Sports, and at Locked On Bulls. If you need to vent about Vooch, tweet at us. We may or may not respond. Who knows how we'll respond? But if you need to just get it off your chest, that's what the dark pit of Twitter is for. And that's what our text to voicemail line is for as well. 331-979-1369. Let's keep it pleasant, right? Let's keep it above board.
Don't worry. I got joy for all y'all. Don't worry.
Until next time, for Big Dave, I'm Matt saying thanks always for listening, Bulls Nation. Hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't already. Until Until next time, see Red, be good. Peace out.